I know, I'll be there in a second. Hang on. A little bit of water. Hi folks, sorry. I'm here at last. I had to put some water in the kettle for what I'm going to show you tonight. I'm going to talk about use it up because I've been doing some research on different things and I was gobsmacked, folks, absolutely gobsmacked to learn that the average Australian household throws away $3,800 a year. They just turf it in the bin because that's the cost, the average cost of food waste per household in Australia. Now, our food budget for the year is $3,840. So effectively, people are tossing my year's food budget in the bin. Why? Why, I ask you? Because they don't use it up. They buy it, they put it in the fridge, they put it in the freezer, they toss it in the pantry and leave it. They go back to the supermarket the next week and repeat. Oh my giddy aunt, that's a month's wages. They're effectively working, someone is effectively working 1 month in every household just to cover the cost of food waste. Hate to say it, folks, but I'd rather not waste the food and have the month off. Seriously, think about it. Would you really like to work an extra month every year just to cover the cost of food waste? Now you'll know I was gobsmacked. I was gobsmacked. Hi, Narelle. Did you get your oranges all sorted? And Margarita. And, oh,
What have you done?
There's an N1 and an N2, is there?
Well, don't know. Because there's two Narelles.
Two Narelles, and they're both Narelle Williams. All right. Yep. Leonie, who else is with us today? Freya, Michelle, Alicia B, Maureen, Karen T, Suzanne, Joe, Margarita, thank you. She's hanging in there. Mum is hanging in there. She's not getting any better, but I don't think she's any worse, is she?
Just not eating.
She's not eating. Yesterday she stopped drinking, so that wasn't so good. They had to put the IV back in. She stopped being able to take her meds by mouth, so they're doing IV meds at the moment. She's still not walking, still not able to walk even with her walker. So she's not so good, but she isn't any worse. She's definitely not better, but she's no worse than she was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So when I spoke to the doctor this morning, it was, oh, we might be able to send her home tomorrow. Or this afternoon it was, oh, we might be able to send her home on Saturday. So we'll see. But until she's eating and until they get the infection under control, they can't really send her back to the nursing home because they're just not equipped to deal with it. So anyway, all right. Oh, Narelle, well done. Narelle had 10 kilos of oranges to juice this afternoon. That's a big job. She got them all done bar 8 because they were really big. Well done. Did you see my answer to someone asked the question about how long orange juice would last in the fridge? And freshly squeezed juice 2 to 3 days. And someone else asked about the juice from the supermarket. So it depends. If it's the fresh juice from the fridge cabinet, once it's opened, it will last 5 to 7 days. If it's that off-the-shelf juice, so it's been UHT treated. It will last up to 10 days once opened. But with all orange juices especially, but all juices, but orange juice especially, it needs to be refrigerated straight away. Keep it out of the fridge and it goes off really quickly. Within hours, it can be starting to turn and it can make you quite sick. So just remember, keep your juice in the fridge if you're not going to freeze it. What else have we got? Okay.
Oh, it was a freaking container of Coles. I didn't get started.
Well, did you hear Hannah? She's heard about the free containers from Coles. And we've had this discussion because we picked up a leaflet. We flew in and picked up a leaflet. There you go. It's not very good, is it? This afternoon. You have to spend $200. $200 to get the smallest container. $200 for a container that's worth probably 8 or 10 at the most.
And then an extra 100 to get the vacuum seal pump.
All right, and then if you want the little vacuum seal pump, because they can be vacuum sealed, that's another $100 you have to spend. Wowzers. Hope they've got this on for a very long time, because that is a huge amount of money people are going to be spending to get plastic containers. And we also had the discussion that, you know what, if you wanted something similar, you could probably go to IKEA and get it for like a fraction of the price. Otherwise, there's Lock and Locks. I'm a big Lock and Lock fan, really like my Lock and Locks. Or Tupperware from the op shop, or Rubbermaid. And you can get Rubbermaid online really cheaply. Even Starmaid brand from Coles, or good old Aussie Decor, although it's not Aussie anymore, but good old Decor. Depends what you want it for, but seriously, $200 you have to spend to get the smallest container. That's a huge.
It's only 600 mils too.
Well, it's only 600 mils, there you go, so it doesn't even hold much. That's a lot of money you're going to have to spend to get them. So whilst I appreciate that Coles is trying to do good and tackle, plastic waste, I don't think that encouraging people to go into debt by buying food that they're just going to throw in the bin and double their $3,800 a year probably just to get the containers is a really good idea. I'm sure there are better ways of getting the containers. But wow, I was gobsmacked. So I have seen them. Can you tell I'm not a fan? We had a good look at the containers. They're very nice. Nice plastic, not a bad coloured lid. Nice shape, because I like the oblongy. I like oblong and square in the fridge and freezer. They stack much better, but not at that price. I would never spend that much. It would take me 6 months to spend that much money in Coles to get a container. So I struggle to get my petrol voucher once a fortnight. Right, okay. So Lorraine, I'm not sure about using Flybuys points. Does it say anything on the...
No, you can't use Flybuys points, but the way you get the credit, it's on your Flybuys card.
Okay, you can't use your Flybuys points, but you need to show your Flybuys card to get the credits to be able to redeem them for the container. So, yeah. Suzanne, I don't know if they are BPA.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they are.
Yep, I've applied.
Oh, you have two. Here you go. Isn't she doing a good job? She's ahead of me. So, yeah, I don't know. There will probably be lots of people racing in and thinking they're going to save the world one container at a time or something. I don't know. Maybe. But seriously, I don't know. $200. I guess there's people that spend that each week. In fact, I know there's people that spend that each week because they come to me and ask me how they cannot spend that much money each week. But that's a lot of money out of your budget just on plastic containers. And like I said, you can go to the op shop and pick up Tupperware. You can go to IKEA. You can go to Kmart and get Rubbermaid and Starmaid.
It doesn't say when it ends.
It's only for about 3 months. It's not terribly long.
It'll be the 16th of July.
It doesn't start till June.
No, it's already started.
Oh, has it? I thought it didn't start till the 4th of June.
No, it started.
Oh,
Why would
okay.
they have the containers there?
Well, I thought they were just for
No.
looking. Yeah. Lorraine, you can actually cash your points in for a gift card and use it to do your shopping. Don't get the $10 off each time, but log into your Flybuys account and redeem your points to your card in dollars. So if you've got 10,000 points, you've got $50 that you can redeem to your card, and then you can just pay with your Flybuys card. Now, I save our Flybuys points for Christmas, and that pays for our Christmas, New Year, holiday treat shopping that I do. So it varies from year to year, and this year we're not getting many Flybuys points, so it probably won't add up to much. But I think that's the better way to go. The $10 off each shop nearly drives me insane. It's just, I'd rather not. But anyway, work it out. But yeah, you can cash them in, as in convert them to cash that will be added to your card. And just as you go to the register, tell them you're going to use your Flybuys points, your Flybuys dollars, to pay for your shopping. And you can do that at Coles, Kmart, Target. So it gives you a few options for shopping. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Maureen. Yeah, 2nd of July, the offer ends. Yeah. Oh, that's very nice. Siobhan catches her points in for her son who's at uni to help him out. What a lovely mum. Yeah. Wow, 40,000 Flybuys points is what, $200 roughly, no? 10,000 is $50.
Yeah, $200.
$200. You got $200 there to spend, Lorraine. Go crazy. Wait till I have a really good sale on something you need and stock up. That could be the start of your stockpile. There you go. Lots of ways to do it. Okay, now, sorry, got slightly off track there, but yeah. So I want to talk to you about Use It Up. So it's things like, because I was reading this article and going, I'm getting quite frustrated and annoyed, and then I was reading the quantities, and it is $20 billion a year of food that goes into the bin, or 20, yeah. So Australians are effectively throwing away $20 billion a year. 5 million tonnes goes to landfill. Now that doesn't include the amount that people compost or feed to their pets. That's just what goes in the bin, into the little wheelie bin, the small silo, and gets tossed at the tip. Ouch. 1 in 5 shopping bags. So you do your shopping, you have 5 bags of groceries, 1 of them you effectively throw in the bin. Wow. Yeah, it's a huge amount of money, and it consists of things like limp carrots, forgotten celery, the cheese that didn't get wrapped up properly and went a bit hard, cream that has been half used and then the bottle's just been left, or sour cream, yogurt that's been opened and left, bananas that have gone brown, peaches that might have a soft spot on them, apples that have gone all wrinkly, meat that's been put in the fridge and then forgotten about. You know, most of those things can still be used. Depending for meat, have a sniff. If it smells all right, use it. If it doesn't smell right, don't use it. But just about everything else can be used. Wrinkly apples, make baked apples, core them, fill the centers with a mixture of brown sugar and sultanas, a little drizzle of honey over them. Put them in a tray, about half a cup of water in the bottom of a baking dish. Put them in the oven and make baked apples. Then have them with custard that you've used the half a bottle of cream to make. And there's some things that you are not throwing away, and that's money that you are keeping in your purse. I don't know anyone that will go to the bank and withdraw $3,800 and bring it home and just open the bin and drop it in. That's effectively what is happening. And it's horrifying when we have people that want to pay off their mortgages, people with credit card debt, people that are falling behind on car loans or school fees or whatever. $3,800 is a really, really nice family holiday somewhere. It's new air conditioning and heating in your home. It's a new car, a good second-hand car that you can pay cash for. So think about how you're going to use those little bits before you toss them, and think about it as put a dollar value on it. And I've written blog posts about putting dollar values on things, because so often we don't. We just go, ugh, it doesn't look so good, and we don't think that that is money in the bin, and it's money that we have worked for. We've earned that money and we're tossing it in the bin. So when you get a wrinkly carrot and some limp celery and maybe a potato that started to sprout, chop them up and make stock. Celery leaves, when you bring the celery home, like I did last week, I had that big bunch of celery and I chopped it up and I put it in the bags and sliced. I chopped some and sliced some, put it in the freezer bags, but the leaves I chopped up and put into Ziploc bags, and they go into soup. They don't get wasted, so nothing on that celery except for the very, very end was composted. If you do a lot of composting, think about investing in a bokashi bucket, because you can compost anything in that. You can compost meat. It will take bones, absolutely anything, and break it down into really nice compost. It's expensive to set up. It will cost you about $70 to set it up. If you buy the bucket and what's it called? It's gone. Sorry, folks. I'm really tired. I've had a really busy week. The stuff you sprinkle over it anyway, the activation stuff. Active something. It's got microbes and things in it. It will cost you about $70 to set up. But once you've set it up, it composts really well, and you toss everything into it. So, and it's really good to be able to just go, you've trimmed the fat off the meat, toss it in the bucket. Somebody didn't eat all their sausage, toss it in the bucket. There's a little bit of cooked veggies left that's been stirred around or doesn't look so good, toss it in the bucket. Peelings, all sorts of things, eggshells, coffee bags, tea bags, coffee grounds, dryer lint. If you have a dryer, anything can go in your bokashi bucket, and it makes really good compost. So that's another thing. But before you think of composting, think of how you can use it up. So it comes down to, I've got heaps of notes, sorry guys, because I just would forget otherwise. All right, I mentioned the cheese ends, and I'm pretty sure there's not a household in Australia it hasn't happened to, but someone's opened the cheese and cut a few slices, wrapped it up, but hasn't wrapped it properly, and it goes dry on the ends. Don't toss them out. Slice them off, put them in the freezer, and you can crumble them or grate them if you want to use on top of casseroles and tuna bake and pasta bake and things like that, because it melts. Once it's melted, it's fine. It's just not nice. It's my oven going mental. There, Dan's got a bit of a problem. Once it's melted, nobody knows that it was the hard end off the cheese. I've got the oven on because I'm going to do a slice, but while I'm doing it, I'm going to use some bread that's a few days old and a couple of bread rolls that nobody's eaten, that have been out for a couple of days, and I'll dry them out and make breadcrumbs. Okay? Because they're it's easy and we don't waste the bread. We just slice it up like that with the rolls, just so that it's doesn't take as long to dry, because we just want them to dry. There we go. And then the bread just like this. And I'll just put it into the oven on a tray. Okay, just let me get a tray. Toss it on the tray. And I'll give it a toss around. It'll dry up and become crummy, and it can start while I'm getting the slice ready. Once they're dry, I pull them out and let them cool, and then I just crumble them up into the canister. And I leave them plain because sometimes we like plain crumbs and sometimes we like put those away because I can wash them later and reuse them for rubbish bin liners or something. Sometimes we like seasoned crumbs, or they can go into the shake and bake mix. They're pretty versatile. Jars of peanut butter and Vegemite, or honey, or syrup. Okay, when you've got an empty peanut butter jar, have I got one? Yeah, sort of. It's almost empty. Probably, I know the boys would come and go and probably get another 2 sandwiches out of that. But then I'd come along with my trusty spatula and scrape it until it's absolutely clean. And there's usually enough for at least 2 sandwiches left in that. So if you throw that away, you're throwing away money. Thank you. Same with your Vegemite jar. You can scrape it, or I do what Mum used to do, and I put a little bit of hot water, not boiling because it will explode, a little bit of hot water in it and shake it, and then I tip that into either the soup or the stew or the casserole or the gravy and make sure I use it all. We've paid for it. Why shouldn't we use it? Ditto the sauce bottles, tomato sauce, barbecue sauce, sweet chili, little tiny bit of water in them, put the lid on, give it a shake, a really good shake, and you can use it all for things like your salad dressings, your mayos and your coleslaw dressings, that sort of the creamy ones, a little bit of milk and shake them up. And you can use it all. You will get it all out. It helps if you tip it upside down after you've done that and make sure it all runs to the bottom. Just make sure the lid's on properly and it's done up tight. But you use it all. Again, you bought it, you paid for it, you worked for the money to pay for it, so you might as well use it.
Maureen says she puts a little bit of milk into the cream bottle to stretch it.
Yes, a little bit of milk. I use my trusty, there's my skinny in the dishwasher.
Yeah, I used to.
Right. My skinny silicone spatula, it's about half the size of this one, is half the width, is perfect for scraping cream bottles and sour cream containers. Honey that's gone hard or candied, microwave it. A few seconds in the microwave. If you don't want to do that, pop it in some boiling water and let it melt and dissolve. Give it a stir to get rid of the sugar crystals and it's good to go again. You don't waste it, especially the price of honey at the moment. It's very expensive. And on that note, Aldi has, I don't know whether it was started yesterday, or it's on Saturday. Sorry, I can't remember. 1 kilo of Australian honey for $8. Not a bad price.
One of the Norels.
One of the Norels.
Can you use the bottom of the celery to start a new celery plant?
If you really want to, you can. It was a really big thing on Facebook. It comes around in a cycle. You know, just chop it off, put it in a glass of water, it'll grow roots and grow. And it probably will. But celery is one of those things that I don't grow it in the garden. I don't grow it in the garden because it's really slow growing. It takes up a lot of space. So there are more cost beneficial plants that I can put into the garden than celery, when I can get celery for $1 a bunch. Now at the moment it's quite expensive, and it probably will be till the end of May, start of June, when it will start to drop in price. And it's usually June, July, you can get it for $1, $1.50 a bunch. That's when I go crazy with the celery. And I might buy a bunch a week and bring it home and chop it up and slice it and put it in the freezer. But you can if you want to. But again, it's one of those things you need to weigh up the cost benefit to you to do it. So, sorry. Hope that answered your question without causing more confusion. Did it? Oh, okay. Maureen wanted to know, where was it? I saw it. Maureen asked a question. I just saw it. A little bit of milk.
No, we've done that one.
Yep. I'm sorry.
Maureen never asked a question.
Maybe it wasn't Maureen. Sorry, someone asked. No, it was Narelle. Am I going to put these hints on the website? Pretty please. Narelle, they're all there. Go through the tip store. They're all there. Go through the cooking tip store and see what's there. They'll all be there.
I think she's talking about the composting.
It's there. They're all there.
But not under cooking.
Not under cooking, but, you know, things like, and go through gardening to find out the different things. But they're all there. There's a search at the top of the website. Type the keywords into the search. So keywords are the main words. So it will be celery, grow, for instance, and see what pops up. But they are all there. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. We're glad you said hi this time. Okay. Alrighty. So, okay. Calf cuts into pieces and then dries. Dry Vicky with cheese. Oh, that sounds nice. Do you know, in winter, because we have the wood fire, the slow combustion heater, I keep a pot of water on it all the time, and it's really handy just for, you know, topping up drinks and things. It also helps to keep moisture in the air, and that makes the house feel warmer. But in winter, when the heater's drying, I've got a stacking cake cooler, 3 levels, and I put the bread crusts and the bread ends and that on that, and put it at the back of the heater with a tea towel over it, and just leave it for the day, and it dries beautifully. No energy wasted. Didn't need to turn the oven on for it. It's really handy. So, Karen T, yes, celery, it's no good for eating as in like you would with a dip after it's frozen, because it is a water vegetable, so it's mostly water. So when it thaws after freezing, it goes a bit limp and sad. But to use in cooking, so spag bowl, casseroles, sauces, soups, whatever, gravies, things like that, just fine. Same with onion. Freeze onion, perfect for cooking, using cooking. I used to get the little pickling onions when they're in season or when I can get them, and freeze them whole, and they're the ones I use for baking, for roast onion with our roast dinners. And I just freeze them and usually cook them from frozen. Diced onion, grated onion, same deal, sliced, do the same thing. Okay. No more questions at the minute.
Gonna move on to the Anzac slice.
Yes, we will move on to the Anzac slice.
8 o'clock's up to.
Oh, is it? Sorry, I'm running a bit slow. Sorry, folks. Okay, slice tonight, a variation, my quick, without thinking variation on Anzac slice. Now, I've had Anzac slice on the website in the recipe file for years. It's been one of my go-to slices for, I don't know how many years, a long time. Okay, I need 125 grams of butter. To do that, I'm going to eyeball it. This is a 500-gram pat of butter. So I know if I cut it in half, That's 250 grams. And if I cut that in half, that's my 125. I'm just going to pop that in the microwave to melt. Okay, I'll wrap that back up. We got excited. We thought butter was on sale at Coles, but still wasn't cheap.
Oh, about the butter and anything like that. It's like 430 grams.
Oh yes. We popped into NQR last week and we were looking at butter. They had butter on sale. And we were just looking at the price and thought, wow, that's a pretty good price. And then we noticed, whilst it didn't look any smaller, the packaging still looked about the same size. It was actually only 430 grams and not 500 in the tub. So it's something to be aware of. And I know we're all aware of the constantly, amazingly, magically shrinking products. But yeah, I wonder how many people looked at the price, looked at it and thought that's a really good price for the butter without realising it was actually 430 grams instead of 500. Sounds like the butter's ready, it's popping. Okay. All right. So 125 grams of butter. Where's my doobie? A cup of oats. Because it wouldn't be Anzac slice without oats. My half cup, third cup, half cup. And I'm going to go like this. Brown sugar this is. You can use white sugar if you want to. I just like the flavour of brown sugar. Gives everything a nice richer, much richer flavour in it. I use 1 cup. I'll just tip that all in actually, and then I can wash the container. See, I'm winging it with this slice. I will put the recipe and the quantities up, but it's an easy all one. Coconut, about the same, a cup. Sorry?
Using marked coconut.
Oh, well, it's out. And self-raising flour. 1 cup. I think the original Anzac slice had a half a cup of self-raising and half a cup of plain and baking powder. So again, I've adapted it to suit me. Half a teaspoon of bicarb that I've got in there already because my bicarb thing's huge. A couple of tablespoons of golden syrup, and I'm gonna So when this golden syrup container is looking a bit empty, it looks like 2 tablespoons or roughly thereabouts, and some boiling water. Water's not hot yet. When the that's empty, I'll tip it upside down to let it all drain down and give it 10 seconds in the microwave before I open it to use it to make sure I get all of it out. Okay. Stir it all around, mix it all up. I've already prepared the tin with baking paper. The oven's on heating at 180. Now, just for a change, and because I've got them and I can, I'm going to add some M&Ms to them, to the slice. You see how it's sort of crumbly, and it's enough that if you push it together, it'll hold together. It's not a moist, really moist recipe, but it's enough so that when you push it into the tin, it will hold together, and that water will be hot enough. Maybe not. Should be now. Okay. 2 tablespoons of water. Pop this back. The bicarb in this recipe acts as a rising agent, but it will also help brown, give colour to the recipe. So give it a stir so that can you see how it's fizzing up? It's going to froth up on me, just so that it all melts together. And it goes. Get it all. Okay, stir it up. Just like that. Okay, did everyone watch the football this afternoon? It's very disappointing. Well, it wasn't a bad game, but it was very disappointing for us anyway. Okay, I've got my tin ready. It's lined up with baking paper. Pop the slice in. Oh, no. I did too. Okay. Lucky. Sorry. Who else does this? I have a friend who was making sponge cakes one day. She went to put them in the oven and realised she hadn't put the eggs in. So out they came, out of the pan, back into the bowl. She added the eggs, put them back in the oven. Oh, the best sponge cakes. These M&Ms are Lamington M&Ms. We just got them at NQR.
I think so.
So they're really cheap. They were like $1 a packet. Oh yeah, they're sort of red and white and brown. All right, so I'm just going to put a few in, just because we can. Mix those in. If you wanted to add sultanas or mixed fruit, chopped dates, nuts, whatever, you could, and make this into a muesli bar type thing. I've done that before. Chopped chips, cherries, almonds, whatever. Down it goes. Push, 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 push. Now this is just, I call this a slice tray. I don't know what size it is though. Just a normal slice tray size. Press it down. Now, where's my trusty glass? We have the rolling glass. It's just a wee glass that we use to roll press down the slices so that they are nice and firm and evenly distributed through the pan, so it cooks evenly. Okay. I'm holding the baking paper in place with little quilting pins. I found them in my craft box, and I know what I can use those for, apart from, holding quilt batting and stuff in place. Beautiful. So they'll come off before I put them in the oven because they're plastic. And they go in the drawer. Okay, that can go into the oven. I'll check the bread. Oh, lovely. About 20 minutes, I'll check it. Because we don't like it. Oh, yeah, that bread's great. It's as dry as toast. All right, so I'm going to leave it there to cool. And later on, I'll break it up. If I feel like it, I might put it through the food processor now and turn it into crumbs. Otherwise, I'll just drop it into the container and do it as I need them. Okay, so it's really easy. It makes really nice morning tea. It's really nice afternoon tea. It's a really nice midnight snack. Goes well in lunch boxes. You can easily double, triple, quadruple the recipe. I only had one. Oh, I've got 2 tins prepared, but really, I'm just too tired. Sorry, folks. It's been such a busy week. We've lucked out twice. We've lucked out and not had to pay for parking at the hospital, which has been really good because it is so expensive. And Maroondah Hospital just doesn't have a lot of parking. So, yeah. Anyway, so what else can we use up? Little bits of dried fruit can be added to muffins. It can be stewed. You know how you stew an apple or peaches, nectarines or whatever? You can stew dried fruit. So if you want to do it the posh way, put some dried fruit into a saucepan, drizzle it with a little bit of port or sherry, that type of thing if you've got it, or orange juice if you're not a drinker. A little sprinkle of cinnamon. Stir it up, let it simmer for a few minutes so that the fruit softens, and it's really nice. Serve it, let it cool, and then you can have it with thick cream on top. Delicious, really nice. Or you can add it to ground rice for breakfast, or to your porridge for breakfast. You could put it into muffins or cupcakes. We saw a cake today that was filled with fruit, wasn't it? It was a sponge. We looked at it. It was marked down to $6.50. So I don't know how much it was. Regular price about $9 or something. And it looked like a sponge, and it just had fruit in the centre and white chocolate over the top. Is that right? Yeah. Just white chocolate icing over the top. Do that with it. Soggy fruit in the fruit bowl. So you've got peaches or nectarines or something that are looking a bit sad. Stew them. You can dry them. Chop the bruised bits off. Slice it up and dry them. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can do it in the oven. Set your oven to 120. Lay the fruit out on a cake rack so that the heat can circulate around it. Sit your cake rack over a baking tray just to catch the drips so you don't have to clean the oven. Close the oven door, but pop a wooden spoon into the top of it so it doesn't close properly. Just props it open a bit and leave it. It takes anywhere from, depending on how wet the fruit is, it takes anywhere from 4 to 6, maybe 8 hours to dry. And it also depends on how leathery you want it. But you can do that with all sorts of fruits and veg. Dry them in the oven like that if you don't have a dehydrator. Whiz it up and use it for smoothies. Puree it and freeze it in 1 cup or half cup lots, and then use that in baking if you want to. Use it for desserts to flavour rice custards instead of putting sultanas in your baked rice. Use sliced fruit, sliced nectarines, sliced peaches, sliced apricots, sliced plums, sliced banana, whatever. Bananas are brown and soggy. They're actually, where the browner and more speckled they are, the better they are for you. But they're also really good for baking when they're like that, because they're already soft and they're super sweet. Super sweet. So you can actually cut back the sugar in your recipe a little if you're going to use spotty bananas. And let me just reach the bananas. See, these are starting to look a bit spotty. They're still really firm. They're not soft at all, but they're starting to look spotty. But they can be frozen like that. And then just, if I need 2 or 3 bananas for a cake, I'll just pop them out of the freezer, take the skin off and whiz them or mash them, and they're fine for a banana cake. Don't throw away your banana peels. If you've got ferns, your banana peels love ferns. Or ferns love your banana peels, sorry. So you can use them to feed your ferns. Just pop them in the centre and let them feed your ferns. They're really good things. Bananas can be very handy for all sorts of things. So that was so great. Freeze overripe bananas for cakes. Yep. What do you use potato masher for, Maureen?
To slice it.
Oh, does it ease up through the holes? Okay, not to worry. Oh, Emma Jane made Anzac slice today for the first time. Well done. And she says it was yummy. Yahoo! Lisa O'Donnell, I will probably have a cup of tea as soon as I am finished here. I have to clean up. And then I will be sitting down with a cup of tea. Actually, I'll probably take it to bed with me. So, yeah. Look, if you don't have Suzanne, they're little quilting clips that I found in my sewing box. But you can use ordinary clothes pegs. I've got those in here too in the top drawer. In the top says she. Now I can't find them. Oh yeah, they're up there. See, I just keep ordinary clothes pegs will do the same thing. Just to hold the paper in place while you're pressing the slice down. So I used to get one of the kids to come and hold the ends for me because otherwise it moves. And someone said to me, oh, you just spray the tray. Well, that sort of defeats the purpose of having the baking paper, doesn't it, if you're going to spray or grease the tray. So, anyway, the clips work really well, really, really well, and they didn't cost me anything. If you've got clothes pegs, they won't cost you anything either. So, okay. All right. Maureen has a shelf in her fridge for leftovers. We rarely have leftovers, although this week we've had quite a few. Alan bought pizza for us all for dinner last night because I was just shattered last night. So he bought pizza. It was really nice pizza. It's very expensive pizza, but it was really nice pizza. And we had leftovers. So I put them in a container in the fridge. Someone had some for lunch today, but there's still a couple of slices left, so they'll be eaten tomorrow. I made a lasagna on Monday, and we ate half of it. So, and my thinking was we would eat the rest of it last night. It was last night? Yeah, last night. But that didn't happen, so it's in the fridge. So we'll finish that off for dinner tomorrow night with a potato bake. I made a big potato bake, and I always do a double potato bake because I especially like potato bake, and I am quite happy to have just a slice of potato bake for my lunch. So that works well. So I often plan leftovers for other meals. It's a bit like when I do a leg of lamb, we have the meat for our roast dinner, then I slice off the rest and put it in gravy. For the next night I have lamb on the menu and it goes into the freezer. Then what's left on the bone I chip off, and that gets used to make a curry or to make a French shepherd's pie or to do a souvlaki type thing, and then the bone goes into stock. But it just means we use it up, so the very expensive leg of lamb works out to be not so expensive, and I plan my leftovers so that I know what we're doing with them. If there's only 1 or 2 serves left of something and I know it's going to be used for lunches in the week, goes into the little square, I have little square containers, so they're all single serve size and they just sit in the fridge. And usually a couple of times a week I'll go through the fridge and make sure everything's being used up and nothing's, what are you licking? Peanut butter? Sorry. I should turn the camera around so people can see what you're doing. She got the spatula and put it in the peanut butter and now she's licking it. Don't you double dip.
At the other end.
I don't know. Anyone would think we didn't feed her. Yeah.
We didn't quit. Daddy's it.
So, all right. Thank you, Maureen. Yep. Make fruit salad with all the bits of fruit. That's Tanya. Yep. The other thing you can do with your bits of fruit, like usually I'll end up with 1 nectarine, 1 peach, a banana, a few grapes, and they're all at the end of the week starting to look a bit sad. Whiz them up, puree them, and freeze them, but freeze them in icy pole molds, because an icy pole mold is about a 1/2 cup measure, roughly. So that means, you know, if you just want a 1/2 cup to put in some smoothies or something, it's there. But you can use 2 of them to make a cake or whatever. And I posted today the recipe again for the whole orange cake. But if you use 2 icy pole molds of fruit in place of the whole orange, you have a fruit salad cake. And it's good. It's really good. Somebody doesn't like orange cake.
Thomas.
But it's really good if you do that. And that also means that once they're frozen, you can slip them out of the icy pole thing, put them into a bag, and refill the molds and freeze them. Keep doing that until you've used up all your fruit puree. Something's crackling over here, cooling down nicely. Yeah, so that's another thing that you can do with your fruit, and for smoothies, ice creams, whatever, cobblers, all sorts of things. Yeah, she was sprung, Lisa. Yeah, okay. All right, so there we go. I'm just flicking back through to see I haven't missed anything. I don't think I have. All right, so don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you wouldn't mind underneath. Hit the thumb. You can subscribe so that you are always alerted to when I'm doing an amazing show on YouTube. And share, by all means, share the links to the videos. Happy for everyone to do that. That would be really, really good. Spread the word that we might be cheapskates, but we live the good life. How's this slice going? Looking good. It's only got about 5 minutes to go. Now, I noticed a lot of people are getting their budget purses in order. That's really neat, I think. Quite cool. All sorts of things happening. I know Annette was looking for some, and who else? Janine, Janet. Can't remember. Sorry. Oh, I don't mean to be so rude. Forgotten. Someone had a whole heap they found on AliExpress. They even found mine, my little pink one.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's a lovely little purse. It's perfect size for holding phone and money and the cards that you need for cards you need for your shopping, like your flybys, Woolworths rewards. I'm getting really tired. Sorry, my words are starting to muddle up. Fresh squeezed lemon juice, says Lisa, into ice cube trays, then transfer to freezer bags. Yes, and if you have your own lemons, juice away, but before you juice, zest. Grate the zest and freeze that too, because that's great in baking. It's good in sauces. It's nice in dressings. It's really good sprinkled over the top of icing. Good flavouring in the lemon and orange zest. Because I saw lemons were 90 cents each yesterday, 90 cents each. And they were teeny tiny little lemons. They didn't look that, they want to be good juices for that price. So if you have a lemon tree, juice away. My limes are looking amazing. They'll be almost ready to start juicing soon. So they'll be really, really good. I'm looking forward to that. The mandarins are coming on and the oranges are getting big too. All right. Okay, now. Okay. Just to let people know, Woolworths. Wow. Bonus, Maureen. 10 pieces a kilo barrel. Free. Okay, that's a great idea. I think Aldi have a test club too. Now they open it up probably twice a year, I think. But if you search their website, write Tester Club or Home Tester Club, I think it's called, in the Aldi search bar, it should pop up and you should be able to register for it. You may or may not get picked according to whatever demographic they're using at the time. But yeah. They're easy reading. Freya's just got all of my books from the library. Well done. Easy reading, chapter at a time. Make notes. Feel free to make notes. We don't mind. $18 a packet. Wow. That's a nice boost to your grocery budget, Maureen. Well done. Really, really good. Love free things. Gotta love free food. You just got to. We've got mushrooms growing at the moment. Aldi had mushroom kits for $14.99. $14.99.
I wasn't there.
$14.99, I think they were. My mind really has gone blank. A couple of weeks ago, so Tom bought one, and he's been growing mushrooms. And then he looked at his father last night and said, "Oh, I don't even know why I'm doing this because I don't eat mushrooms." But I do. So I'm happily waiting for his first harvest. They're about the size of a 10-cent piece at the minute. So another couple of days, I reckon they'll be ready and we'll have fresh mushrooms for the weekend. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. Mushrooms are so expensive. We had a discussion, Wayne and I had a discussion today about them. He said, well, maybe they need to be in the dark. Right? But when they grow in the field, they're out in the sunshine. They're not in the dark. You know, we used to go mushrooming in the cow paddocks. And admittedly, we would usually find them next to the cow paddocks, but they were never in the shade or the dark or anything. So I think they're fine where they are. They're doing really well anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to get my trusty cake tester, which is actually a pate knife, and see how this slice is going, folks. Oh, perfect. Lovely. Okay. I can tell it's cooked because it's starting to come away from the sides. It's still soft. Knife comes out clean. Let me get another oven mitt. And can you see that? Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at it. Now, it's really soft because it's hot. So let it cool in the tin for 5 or 10 minutes before you transfer it to a cake rack to cool completely before you put it in an airtight container. I cut it in half, then I cut each half in half, so it gives 4, and then I cut usually in half and then in half again. We usually get about 16 slices out of it. So.
Well, you and I get one. Thomas has 14.
Yeah, or Hannah and I get one and Tom has 14. Yeah, that's right. You've got to be quick. When there's treats in this house, you've got to be really quick. The food fairies come. So there we go. All right, folks, do you all know to use it up and not throw away $3,800 a year? Think about what you're going to do with that money. That's my whole year's grocery money that the average Australian household just throws in the bin. That's a month's work. It's, oh my gosh, it's just too distressing for me to even think about. So seriously, next time you go to throw something out, think about how you can use it. Can you turn it into a smoothie? Can you turn it into soup? Can you use it for whatever? Herbs, you buy fresh herbs from the supermarket, dry them and, or freeze them. Freeze them in water is better, but do something with them, but don't throw that money in the bin. All right, so I'm going to have my cup of tea, Lisa. I'll put the kettle on and boil it and happily have a cup of tea. And I shall then go to bed because I've got another busy day tomorrow, checking on things and what's going on and following up. It's really hard to catch doctors at the hospital because the other day I was early. They didn't come till after 11. So then I thought, oh, I'll come later. They came early. Just trying to catch them. But she's being cared for by lovely, lovely nursing staff. Cannot fault them. They have the patience of saints, and I think there's a special place in heaven for those nurses because they have a whole ward of people with dementia, and they're so hard to look after, not because they mean to be difficult, but because they can't tell you what's wrong. Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Remember, I'll pop the recipe on the Cheapskates Club website. This is pretty budget friendly. It costs around, if you leave the M&Ms out, it costs around $1, $1.20, depending on where you buy your staples to make. It's really quick. It's tasty. It keeps well. Yes, you can freeze it. You can freeze it in the tray and then bake it from frozen if you want to. It's easy to go. Anyway, I'm going to go because my fingernails sore and my voice is starting to go. All right, thank you, everyone. I shall see you on Tuesday. Okay, good night and have a nice weekend.